Warning! A lot of stuff happens. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Once Upon a Time, Season 6, Episode 21 and 22, The Final Battle, Parts 1 and 2. Oh, that's a very large Cleo.
Surprise!
Cleo, welcome back!
Who are you?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Told you guys Cleo would be back.
The stream. Oh no!
We got Cleo back.
Good thing there was a box for me to crash the screen in.
Cleo, for those of you, for those who don't know you, would you like to explain your situation a little bit?
I'm Cleo. I was on the show for fucking ever, and then after
I thought I
went
killed
back
you.
to season 1, I was like, I'm kind of done for now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now I'm back.
Alex is freaking out in chat right now.
I'm glad you didn't tell them.
No. I think it completely slipped my mind to let everybody know last week. So,
Yeah.
Turns out to be a big surprise for the longtime followers of this podcast.
Hi,
Anyway.
Luke. Hi, Alex.
So, oh boy, this was a finale. This was a finale. This probably their best finale yet, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're fucking good.
So,
All the things, all of them.
I'm not saying every aspect of it was amazing, but overall, like I think it was pretty good.
Well, they did say they were going to finish everyone's story. So
yeah, they wrapped everything up pretty nice.
And left enough loose ends that if some people want to come back or something, they can fit them right in.
Oh, 100%. Every single person, because it's been confirmed now.
Oh God!
This happened between last episode and this episode. That Jared, who plays Henry's not returning. We have
For good reason.
Both Charming's not returning. Jennifer Morrison, who plays Emma's not returning, and Belle is not returning. Zelina, like a lot of characters are not returning for the next season. Some of them, such as Belle, she made it very apparent that it was not her choice. She would have loved to continue playing Belle, but the story's going in a different direction. I'm sure some people are upset at that. On one hand, I think it's really nice of them to be like, we're not going to hold on to you and make you think that something's going to happen, and then we use you for like an episode or two. So if she wants to pursue other work, she can, and I think that's fantastic of them to do that. Yeah, I don't exactly like the way everything was resolved with her. I wish there was some more time with her, but getting her to come back for an episode next season is still possible. It's 100% in the possibility. So
it's possible for all of the actors and actresses. Yeah. It's just
including Henry.
I mean,
that's the one that's the most important. Say Once Upon a Time goes on for another 3 seasons, right? In that third season there, they could bring Henry back and just have it like a flashback of, what he was doing during all this downtime, like, and tie it in the same way they do flashbacks. So it is 100% possible for every single character who has left to return. So.
Yep.
I mean, and the only ones we know really why they're leaving really is Henry. He wants to go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can only guess what what the other ones. I mean, the Charmings, they have 2 young kids at home.
Probably gonna make another one.
Probably.
And Jennifer did say.
Yeah, well, Rebecca Mader has a child at home too, and so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer, she did say that she wanted to move on bigger and better endeavors for herself. She wanted to expand her creative outlets and stuff. So she does have a reason, but she's just as vague as she was when she left house. She made basically the same statement. Yeah. So.
See, to me, I think you have 2 small children at home. You probably don't need to work right now. You between your husband and you have fairly decent sized nest egg going on there. So why not spend a couple of years with your kids?
Yeah.
And just do going off shit.
As far as this episode goes, right? We start off with we don't start off with. I'm gonna deal with all the Henry stuff afterwards because we'll wrap that all at once. But with the Black Fairy's curse here, right? We're dealing with the curse. We'll start here. We have Henry awake. We see Archie's there. We see Emma's there. We have Nurse Ratched. We have Fiona as the new mayor and Henry's mother. We have Gideon. We have Rumple. As for the rest of the town, who the hell knows where they are, right?
Who the hell cares? I'm kidding.
We have Snow Charming, Hook, Regina, and Baby Neil, which we forgot to mention last week. Baby Neil was, in fact, at the wedding.
But he wasn't.
Nobody's still
until
caring
the
about
curse
him.
came, and then they were magically holding him. I'm like, where did this baby come from?
Yeah. No, I think Granny was holding him or something. He
Probably.
was.
What?
He was
when the curse came, they were.
Oh, you mean his
holding
mom?
him. His mom was holding him during the curse. When the
Yeah,
curse.
his
No,
mom.
I know.
Granny.
I meant at the wedding. I didn't see him, and then all of a sudden the curse is.
Somebody was holding
Granny
him
had
that
him.
was in the seats. I think Granny had him. Yeah.
I'm just saying I didn't see him, so to me the baby came out and I was like, okay, now there's a baby.
The fact of the matter is, someone who wasn't his mother is holding him.
Well, the mother and father walked the bride down the aisle. So
Yeah.
it
And
was
you can
the baby.
sit the fuck down, pick him back up.
Poor neglected baby. But they're all back in the Enchanted Forest, and they made a comment. Like, we go from one wedding to, another, one interrupted wedding to another. So.
Yeah, because they were in the same, hall that Charming Snow got married in.
Yeah. So, we see, with Storybrooke here, we find out that the final battle is not what we thought it was. The final battle was actually a battle of Emma's belief. Right?
Which, when was the existence of all of these worlds tied to Emma?
I don't know.
I don't think not until this curse.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think any ties to Emma's belief. I mean, it started off with Emma having to believe in this world in the very first season, but I don't think that mattered much until this curse.
But now the faith of all realms just are weighing in on Emma's belief of just one realm. Because if you think about it, she used to believe.
Well, if she believes in the Enchanted Forest, then there's possibility of her believing in all of it because it's all part and parcel of the same thing.
That's a dick move by the Black Fairy.
Yeah, for sure.
You got because Wonderland's not connected to the Enchanted Forest. Oz is not connected to the Enchanted Forest.
It's the realms of story, right? As they call them. It's everything that is tied to the storybook.
They got a name. Finally.
Well, that's true. They all do. They all are connected to the storybook. You're right.
They are all connected to that book because we've seen pages from Alice in Wonderland in that book. We've seen pages from Oz in that book. All of these stories are, in fact, in the book. So all of the realms exist in some degree in that book. So it just that is pretty much the only thing that didn't sit right with me here is the basis of Emma's belief, which these realms existed before Emma. Mm-hmm. That they now they fall onto her.
I think it's more or less the belief of the Savior. If the Savior doesn't believe, then it could have been any
Savior. Yeah.
Well, and what I think Nikki Drake just said, it was because of the curse. Mm-hmm. The curse made it so that if Emma didn't believe, the worlds would.
It could be
destroyed.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah, because Dom, I was on the same boat as you when I was watching this episode. I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. But now that Nikki said that, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yes,
it is a dark curse, and
you're screwing over the poor Munchkins and Anastasia. Y'all know I love Anastasia. She's over there in her own she's doing her own little thing, and she didn't expect any of this happening. And all of a sudden, her faith lies on this one stupid ass woman
that she's never met.
Yeah, very true.
I wasn't the only one who called her stupid this time.
Right?
Oh, no, I see. I am not. I still love Emma. I love her very much. But I got Nikki real fast in this episode.
Got Nikki. We turned that into a verb. Good job, Jake.
Got Nikki'd. Wow.
You got Nikki'd real fast.
New word for Mad Libs.
So in this new version of Storybrooke, and I don't know what to call this version of Storybrooke, but
weird ass Storybrooke.
Boring.
Every version's had like this catchy little nickname to it, and this one does not. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
boring as fuck, Brooke.
But in it we have Fiona, who she's trying to destroy Emma's belief, but she also wants Emma to go back to Boston, right? So she convinces her to she wants her to burn the book to destroy Henry's delusions, right? But Emma's not quite ready yet to let go of it. She goes, I know they're not real, but I still can't let go of it yet. So
all the callbacks. The callbacks.
Yeah, this episode was a big nostalgia trip back to season 1.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like how everyone's still under the thumb of the mayor.
Yeah,
like freaking Archie. I wanted to just boot Archie off the face of this planet.
But,
I freaking hated him.
And I don't know why you didn't. Why couldn't we have done that? The Black Fairy.
Because he wasn't in the Enchanted Forest. If he was in the Enchanted Forest, then Emma could have booted him into non-existence.
Well, we could have done. We couldn't have done that. The Black Fairy. She's just like nonchalant about everything. Couldn't she just have snapped his neck?
So Chat's calling it Fiona
just
Brooke.
Like he was in season 1.
Chat's calling it Fiona Brooke. So we'll go with that.
I like that.
I like it.
I just when she came in like pretending to be the Regina, I was like, "What are you jealous?" And you know what? She was.
It seems like it's part of the curse too, though. Like when the curse is cast, they become the mayor. Like that's just how it's worked. So every time we've seen it.
I mean, it's also having the power is what it is,
right?
Yeah. Also, I think jealousy is another part of it because all these people that she, vanished or what with the dark curse and shit, they were family. They had each other, and she didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Just the same reason why Regina did it in the first place, too.
I mean, you also see, because she goes to visit the pawn shop, right? And Rumple and Gideon are in there, and she brings her watch in for repairs, for whatever reason. And, it looks like, once again, Rumple is actually affected by the curse, only to find out later on in the episode he's not. Another throwback to season 1,
I had a suspicion.
I did
There's
too.
no way Rumple would get himself hooked into this.
No, he definitely had some sort of wall or protective spell on himself because he knew his mom was gonna backstab him.
Oh yeah, duh.
And you see how he has the book, that Belle wrote for Gideon, her handsome hero, and he talks to Gideon about Belle, and we find out that Belle left to go to the store and never came back. It does not sound like Belle at all.
Left to go get cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly.
She needs a fucking cigarette. She really does. She needs a fucking cigarette. She needs a drink. Give that bitch some weed, okay? She's been through a lot.
As much as we haven't seen Belle in a while and stuff, and her writing, as we've all complained about her writing, yeah, she's been through a lot for not being a main character.
Season.
Yeah.
For not being a main character, she's been through some shit.
She has. And Rumple wants Fiona to reopen the Belle disappearance case, and that's when we see, there's pictures of Belle, quote-unquote, traveling all over the world, only to find out Belle is actually living in the town as, some paranoid hermit that doesn't want to leave, and,
She has agoraphobia. She can't leave the house.
Yeah.
She's scared.
She has no memories of Rumple, anything like that. So.
Did you see all her pantry in her kitchen? It's just like tomato sauce.
How did she get her food? Fiona must drop it off.
Plus, there's just cans just up in the shelves. I mean, huge cans of tomato sauce and stuff. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, that is definitely a symptom of agoraphobia. Just, bulk everything.
So you don't ever have to leave the house. I wonder if she had the internet. She just had Amazon dropped it off.
I don't know. Maybe the new curse upgraded Windows 95 on the sheriff's computer as well. Maybe they went to Vista. I don't know.
They do home deliveries.
But with this, we have Henry now. Right? Henry's actually awake through this whole curse. He's awoke. He knows everything that's going on. He goes to visit his mom in the hospital. It's the same thing, kind of. She doesn't believe what's going on, and she thinks, Henry's making it all up. So it's very, very similar to season 1.
Nurse Ratchet's out of the basement.
Yeah, she is. But we find out that Emma's been in the same place for the last 2 years, right? So Emma's been in the ward here for 2 years. She doesn't believe in the curse. She was put there because she believed in Henry. And it's been around, it said around the time since the apple turnover.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is what threw me off a little bit, and this is what I tried to justify to make sense. We know for a fact, because in the pilot it was mentioned, Henry was 10 years old. Right? If he had the apple turnover and ate that at 10 years old, that would make Henry 12. Yeah. If she's been in there for 2 years, the last 2 years since the turnover. That is not the case, because Fiona, in this episode, mentions that she has a 14-year-old boy, meaning Henry. So Henry is 14, not 12 like he should be. So what I'm thinking of is that Emma didn't go into the hospital right away.
No.
Henry ate the turnover. He had some mental troubles because they mentioned, oh, you were making progress too. So I think Henry went through this, and Emma was only put in 2 years after that.
Yeah.
So that would lead up to the 14.
All I know is that Henry doesn't look 14.
No, Henry's actually, the actor who plays Henry,
18?
He's 16.
So they have 16.
I mean, it's not too far of a stretch.
Far.
No.
It's not, but there's a lot of difference. I mean, really, when you look at a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old, on average, they look different.
Yeah, but screen age and real age are
well, yeah, I know that.
Have you all seen Grease?
Yeah,
Henry
they were 30
really
on
doesn't.
that movie.
Yeah, I mean,
seriously.
Henry doesn't look 14. He looks older.
Yep. So Henry goes on this big elaborate plan to break Emma out of the mental hospital. She brings her to the rooftop where they had the wedding, trying to get her to believe. Emma has some like weird little flashes of marrying Hook, but all in all, she's like, I don't know what to think because my mind has not been working. So she's just like, I just want to go home. I want to go back to Boston. Right?
Can we mention the whole Terminator scene in her cell?
Oh, with her doing pull-ups on the bed frame. Yeah.
I was like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's very Terminator-esque.
You gotta keep your
Emma
body
doesn't
and
have
mind.
a man. She doesn't have a man, to distract her from things. So she needs to work.
I'm just saying that's exactly what she did was doing when they saw in Terminator 2 when they saw a picture of her in the mental institution. That's exactly what she was doing.
Yeah.
Actually, so was Jenny in Sleepy Hollow. When she was in the
it's a go-to thing when you're in the mental hospitals to turn your bed on its side. I mean,
it is one of those things where they say if your body is also healthy, your mind is going to be healthy as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of comes in turn. So like her making herself feel fit and stronger will in turn make her mind stronger and help heal her head. So her mind anyways. So it made sense for me. I didn't question it. I didn't make I was like, oh well, look, she's doing pull-ups. I just
found it funny. It wasn't question. I just thought it was hilarious. I'm like, really, they went the Terminator route on that one.
Yeah, no, it was like almost directly out of Terminator.
Well, this show does make a lot of 80s references.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And then so Henry leaves Emma on the roof and decides to go break into Archie's to steal the book. Right? So in doing so, Fiona catches him, but basically calls him out and says, oh, you're awake, and then magically pushes him down the stairs, twists this whole scenario around for Emma, and convinces Emma to actually burn the book.
Okay, there was a brief moment. I'm like, Emma, do not reach in that fire and take that book out. You stupid bitch.
I thought she did that too.
As soon as she saw the picture of Hook, I thought she was going to.
Exactly. I thought she was going to reach in and grab that book right out of the fire and burn the shit out of her hands. I was like, no, don't do it. Just let it burn. Let it burn. There was that little flash where I was like, she's going to be stupid again.
No.
Well, in my mind, I was like, maybe saving the book is going to save the world. So if she grabs the book...
Yeah, there's that too.
I thought burning the book was going to destroy the whole realms of story.
Yeah, I thought that was the key. Like, the book was the key. If you destroy the book, everything's over.
Yeah. And I think that's what they made us to believe too, because that's when the episode ended, and we got the title card, you know, they came back for the second part.
Yeah.
You know, so. But it's also split that way for reruns when the episodes air. They won't air it again as a double parter, like, because they don't do that. They don't allow slots for that. So, like, reruns, it'll come back as 2 separate episodes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's why, just to show it for that perspective as well. And I like the bookend story of that with the Henry stuff, because each one ended and began with like some stuff with Henry, future Henry. But we'll talk about that in a bit. That's going to be one of the last points we talk to as we transition to next season. But Emma ends up packing for Boston, and Henry kind of tries to put up a little bit of a fight, but ultimately, you know, she ends up going. Now she goes there, and her birthday candle is still there from the pilot, right? So now this got me thinking. I'm like, this curse is so big that it actually extended all the way to Boston. This is not, or the world, for all I know, because for this not to have done that would not make sense. It has to have done that, because in season 3, in the mid-season finale of season 3, Emma and Henry go back to Boston, and they live there, and they're playing video games.
New York.
Yeah, they were living in New York, not
was it New York?
Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's why.
That was at Neil's apartment. I thought that was. I could have sworn.
No,
that
it was a different apartment, and that's where the flying monkey found them.
Yes, that was New York.
Oh.
Because someone mentioned something about Henry being safe in New York.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
they
that
were-
was
when they lived there.
No, she was there with Neil at the time, or at least she thought she was. And then Hook found her and said, "Go to Neil's apartment," because proof is there, and she walked to it. So
Okay, so Emma's never been back to her apartment then?
Probably not.
No, probably not.
Okay. I could have sworn she was, but yeah, okay. Yeah, no, what you're saying makes
If it was a
sense.
rented apartment, and you've been gone for 5 years.
It's going to be rented out to somebody else by now.
Exactly.
It may not be an apartment, though. It may be a condo.
You're right. Might be a condo. You're right.
But yeah.
It's like this curse reversed everything, just like took and reversed and then made an alternate.
Yeah, you know what the curse probably did? Envelop the entire world.
Yeah. Well,
I was gonna say maybe the curse just followed Emma, so wherever Emma was at that point, it affected.
Well, because you would also imagine if the curse was stuck in Storybrooke when Emma crossed the town line,
it would have been broken.
it would she would have not been affected by it anymore.
Well, this is also physically a different curse because we see the black smoke instead of the purple smoke. So physically, this could be a stronger spell.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
That's why I think it
all
enveloped
the black fairy dust that
it enveloped more than
had
Storybrooke.
Because Regina's curse only took like a little baggie, not even a little. It was just like a little pouch of black fairy dust. Whereas this one
filled
was like
the whole clock tower.
It was like the whole clock tower was just full of this shit. So it makes sense that it would envelop the whole world as even like.
And it came from the person who invoked the curse was the one who made it up in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Probably a little stronger.
Yep. So she gets a call from her boss too. Oh, you're back? Oh, we want to run that first date gig that you're so good at. You know, we have a perfect job for you on that.
Yeah,
which was her first. That's the first time we ever see her.
Yeah.
The first date gig.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But she comes across a quick new storybook that Henry had sketched for her, and convinced her to actually return.
Mm.
In the meantime, Henry went to go get some stuff from Gold's shop, finding out Gold's actually awake. Which
I love the scene. I'm sorry, he walks in. He goes, "No, you're not supposed to be back there. Don't let him."
Grandson.
Well, I'm not just saying. I'm your grandson. Like, what?
You must have hit your head hard.
Yeah.
He's like,
Brian Griebel in chat, you're saying something, Brian. Shut up.
Wow. He said the creators did confirm that Anastasia from Wonderland isn't Cinderella's stepsister. They did actually confirm that.
And I'm really terribly upset about that.
Yeah.
I think they
probably.
I wanted it as much as you guys. I did.
Yeah.
I did. But when
they did
evidence
to throw us off because they weren't going to do anything with it.
And Jake's been the one holding on to that longer than anyone here, so that's why he's so upset
Jake
about
and
it.
I are in the same boat.
Yeah.
I think we were all in the same boat. It's just we're all.
I'm still in that boat. I'm still
a little bit more differently vocal about it.
Yeah.
I'm upset. But
Jake is just the one spewing the hate to the people in chat who don't deserve it. But so
writers, fuck you.
There we go.
There. Okay, that's better, Jake.
I have more, but we're gonna keeping it in.
We'll get there. So Henry goes and gets the sword, the savior sword, and Regina's hand mirror, and basically hopes that they're listening, tells them he's gonna go fight the final battle himself, not realizing the final battle is actually for Emma's
emotional.
Yeah.
It's an emotional battle.
I love the interaction with Henry and Gold in this scene. I just absolutely loved it because Henry is just basically calling out his grandpa on his bullshit. It was just like, don't even give me, I know you're awake.
Yeah.
I'm not stupid. And he pulls back the sheet and there's just all them.
Magic.
He was like, yeah, I didn't trust my mom. Well, of course you did. We all knew you didn't trust your mom because no one trusts you.
Yeah, well, Fiona went back to the shop. She went to see Gideon. She wanted her wand. She translates this page here, and I made sure to get a screen grab of this page. It's very, very hard to see. Let me see if I have...
Are we going to zoom in and enhance?
Zoom in and enhance? No. But I translated this myself. I zoomed in and went myself. Okay. It says, light was born and darkness followed, and then the war began for eternities. The two battled, clashing in a sea of endless war. Their emissaries raged in perfect balance. Light versus dark, good versus evil. With every morn they were born, fought and died at each other's hands. This is how it was. This is how it was. This is how it will be 4 times. But when greatest light awakens, the final battle can begin. We will know this great light as a warrior form of these heroes, and a love, and then that's all that we can see.
There's more in the back.
Where did that page come from?
That was Henry's page that he wrote with the runes.
Oh.
And when she used the wand to translate it, that's what that said. It was only on the screen for literally 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So, there is a backside to this. She was looking at it when she was in the car before she translated it. So, there's more to it. We unfortunately didn't get the translation. We didn't get to see it. So.
Mm-hmm.
And we also found out in the scene that she still has Gideon's heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Gideon.
Yeah. Poor that kid doesn't deserve it.
No, not at all. So this is when Rumpel comes in. You know, after she told, Gideon to go kill Emma Swan, whatever. This is when Rumpel comes in. Rumpel confronts her, basically tells her, he's awake, and he's not happy with her. So she tries to backpedal really quickly. She's like, I only wanted the best for you and Belle, and when this is done, I'll make Belle remember and all this stuff. And that's not good enough for Rumpel. Rumpel's just like, no.
Because nothing's good enough for Rumpel.
Of course not. And
I did like the fact she's walking away. He goes, mother, and she's just like, woo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then she promises something really, really close to his heart, which is Balefire. She promises to bring Balefire back.
Oh.
And I was just like,
don't ask me to raise from the dead. You wouldn't like it.
The thing is, though, when that was mentioned,
it's not the pretty picture.
Neil had already passed on to his heaven, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, to rip him out, I don't know if I don't know.
No, I call bullshit on this. Yeah. She cannot do that.
Yeah, there's no.
Oh no, I believe she could. It probably would have been the worst thing ever, but believe she could.
Yeah,
Zeus would have something to say about that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
that would have been
boy.
fun. Zeus comes down and is like, fuck y'all.
No, but we saw Zeus and he looks like a prepubescent boy. And
Whatever, that's not the real Zeus.
He's not very threatening.
That was actually Hermes.
Well,
that wasn't really Zeus.
Actually, I feel like Hermes is actually really it's smaller than that. I feel like he's like this cute little cherub little thingy.
Okay, yeah, he is the messenger of the gods. He's not really anything more than
he's not a god.
He is a god. Hermes is a god.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he's their messenger, but he's still a god.
Yeah.
He's a lame ass god.
I'm not arguing.
The god of male.
So, this is when Fiona reveals that Gideon cannot be stopped. And then she found out through the paper, so this is the backside of the paper now, that said, and this quote is what made me want to go back and read the paper. She said, I learned when I translated the ruins that darkness can't defeat light. Only light can snuff out light.
Yeah.
So, she's like, this can't be stopped, and only killing me is going to solidify it. And Rumple's like, well, there's only one way to find out. And he kills her. But not before saying, Mama. All magic comes with a price. And I'm no longer willing to pay that
background.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that rule is still not relevant. Nope. It's not. You could say it all the fuck you want, Rumple. It's not. It doesn't mean a damn thing.
But he's no longer willing to pay it. And Rumple killing Fiona broke the curse. Right? So I was kind of right. I was kind of right
savior in the end.
Yeah, I was kind of right last episode when I said he's going to turn on his mother, save everyone, and break the curse. I was kind of right there.
We all kind of said that. We all knew he was going to turn on his mom.
But in the end,
like
he
from the very first episode when he was supposed to kill her, I was like, yeah, he's not going to let this go. He's going to get back at her.
Yeah. So he wasn't the final savior, in terms with this. Like, he did save people, but he's not the savior.
No. That fate was cut from him for a long time. Like, he hasn't been the savior forever.
I mean, and he went and he found Gideon's heart, and he tried to stop it, and it wasn't enough. Gideon cut Emma down, and all this stuff. And Rumple was just really, he felt defeated here. He's like, look, I made the right choice, Belle. It didn't work.
Hey, he talked to himself. Come on.
So.
He was having a conversation with himself. His gold self.
For a second I thought that was Wish Rumple, and I was like, what?
I thought it was Wish Rumple as well, because I was like, oh, we're going to get Wish Rumple at some point. Completely forgot about it. So I thought that Rumple was Wish Rumple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was his inner demon, I guess, and he fought that demon. He did.
Yep.
And so that was good on him, I guess. I guess this is as close to a quote-unquote redemption story as probably Rumple's going to get.
He's still not redeemed.
No.
But you did it good.
There's all of next season for that.
Yeah,
you did it good. But good job on killing the lamest villain that we've ever had on this show. But you also killed the greatest villain that we've had on this show. So good job.
Yeah.
A+.
I'd like to point out that Emma doesn't.
Secret hero all along.
I like to point out that Emma never really kills the major villain in any of these seasons.
It's always wrong.
If you think about it, she has killed Cruella, but she wasn't a major villain. She was,
and that was also an accident.
She was I don't know. That was not an accident.
That was an accident.
No, she totally intended on.
It was an accident.
It was not an accident.
Emma just thinks everyone has good in them and everyone can be redeemed. So she doesn't like to kill people.
If it wasn't an accident, then Emma would not be of light anymore. So it had to have been.
Or she would have a spot on her heart. I mean, look at Snow.
I'm not saying killing her was an accident. I'm saying she fully intended on hurting Cruella, but yeah, killing her maybe wasn't. She didn't mean to, fling her off a cliff, but maybe she fully intended on using magic to hurt her.
Fling her off a cliff.
But if you think about it, other characters have defeated the major villains and not Emma. Let's see. Snow killed Cora.
Mm-hmm.
Rumple killed Pan. Regina didn't kill
killed
Zelena.
Both his parents. Let's be fair.
Yeah. And Ingrid killed herself.
Yeah.
Zelena killed Hades. Emma doesn't do a lot of the saving.
Well, to be the savior does not.
She doesn't do a lot of the killing.
Does not mean you have to kill. Like,
Kill.
in fact, she shouldn't.
Or
But
even
did
to
she?
be
But
one
was
who
she?
does it in the end.
But did she do any of these things that I said that ultimately ended that villain's reign?
No, but she didn't need to. She was
But
meant.
she didn't do anything.
She was meant, and I actually went back and I watched the pilot this week, and it is the final battle is mentioned in the pilot. So, like, this goes all the way back to the very beginning. Emma's only supposed to be the savior for the final battle. Like, she's not meant to save for every single thing ever. Like, she was meant to be the savior for the final battle, and that's it.
Which, in a way, she was, because
right.
her belief saved the worlds.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. So with her battle...
I'm saying before that, and since that first episode, people have been treating her, and she's been treating herself
Correct.
as the savior, supposed to be saving people.
Correct.
It wasn't until this season where we finally got confirmation that, yeah, none of that stuff really mattered. This is the thing that matters.
Right. Yeah. So with that, Gideon strikes her down. So Emma, she sacrificed herself in a way that didn't destroy the light. And that is what saved everyone.
Yeah.
And what Gideon said, it was kind of heart-wrenching. He was just like, I'm so sorry. The look on his face was just like, oh my God, stop! Quit pulling at the heartstrings, stop it!
Well, he's very in tune with his own thoughts. He knows what he's doing and he knows what's wrong, but he can't stop himself. So that was him reeling back inside of his head. You could see it, but he couldn't stop. He wanted to.
He wanted to. Oh, he wouldn't have done it if she didn't have his heart and tell him to do it.
It's because Fiona said to kill Emma no matter what. So that meant even Rumple getting the heart and getting control didn't matter, because the way it was worded, it was it's already done at that point. So doing this now kind of undoes.
Charming can take a note from wording.
Yeah.
Because of the fucking disaster that he tried to do in the beginning of the season.
Which it technically worked, but
yeah, because it was always gonna happen. He effectively did nothing by saying, I hope she gets everything she deserves.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I made a list of wishes he could have made that would have worked.
You did.
Anything would have been better.
I wish for a pie.
In the end, true love's kiss reawakens Emma. Doing so kind of gives everybody this fresh start again. Gideon comes back as a baby, and you start seeing the realms of story coming back. We get what was it? We see Arendelle and Sven. We see Neverland, right? And I get some clarification on Neverland.
Tinkerbell got her wings
back. Adam and Eddie said, will we get or the question was asked to them, will we get an explanation of how Neverland still exists if the magic that creating it was dying? Eddie says, I would say that the magic that created it was dying, which only affected Peter Pan, who wanted to live forever. It is now a refuge for lost people to come and have bonfires and their own Coachella-like parties.
Really? All right.
Okay.
Oh, so we do have magical drugs in Neverland.
So that was...
what did you think pixie dust was this whole time?
Oh, no, Eddie that said that.
I'm talking about
Adam said they're not being sustained by magic or given immortality anymore. It's now a feral, scary island. Eddie says it's an open place, real estate opportunity. A lot of people call it the Enchanted Forest adjacent instead of Neverland. It's now Enchanted Forest adjacent.
That's lame.
That is totally lame.
Adam says it's an up-and-coming neighborhood, but the schools aren't great yet. And Eddie goes, because they really don't have any. So.
Well, if you also noticed the Tinkerbell flying by, so Tinkerbell got her wings back?
She, I don't know what warrants you to get wings back.
Apparently she got them. Because that was green. That wasn't like orange or yellow like or orange or red like Tiger Lily. So wouldn't have been Tiger Lily.
I think it's Blue's decision whether or not you get your wings back.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not only Neverland, we saw Wonderland. Jake, we saw Wonderland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I can die.
We saw Agrabah, which I'm pretty sure this episode did confirm for us that Agrabah is in a different realm.
Yes.
Because they came from a different door, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or something. Yeah.
I think some realms are still connected to each other, but they're still separate.
They might be just so far away, like it takes so long to get to them that having a portal is just that much easier.
But apparently Agrabah has just been, with the stupid ass wish, it has been just plopped in the middle of the Enchanted Forest where it's not supposed to be.
That's a possibility too. And then of course we see the Enchanted Forest, and the Evil Queen comes back. But so for all that was what was going on in Storybrooke. In the Enchanted Forest, we had Zelena show up, right? So we have the Charmings, we have Regina, we have Hook, and Baby Neil. Zelena shows up with the Mad Hatter's hat, right? Which, oh my god, I was just so happy we had any reference to the Mad Hatter.
I totally loved her snark comment when Regina asked her, but I thought that was destroyed.
He's a hatter. He's a lots of hats.
He had many hats.
Look, Cleo down there holding her Bucky the Winter Soldier bobblehead.
Mad Hatter. He'll forever be my Mad Hatter.
And he's never coming back.
I would have screamed so loud someone thought I was being murdered if,
Sebastian Stan
the Hatter showed up. Sebastian Stan showed up as the Hatter.
That
lost my mind.
He almost wouldn't fit in. He wouldn't fit in. He wouldn't. He's not lanky anymore. He's big.
He is buff as fuck.
Yeah.
But you could just see him walking in kind of like this with the hat on. Like, you're out of place, buddy.
Yeah.
He's been working out.
He's in a different realm of story right now.
He's got a weak
He's in the realm of comic book stories.
But still, I think this would have been the perfect time for them to just a cameo.
Do a Marvel crossover right then and there.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is when we find out that the realms of story are falling apart. Oz is now, at this point, completely erased.
Because, the writers don't give a fuck about Oz.
I wouldn't say that. We've been back to Oz a few times.
Yeah, and we've seen the same fucking 2 locations in Oz. They don't give a fuck.
It's budget.
Budget's
a huge thing, especially when the entirety of Oz is green screened. That is a lot of effects. That is a contributing factor for why Wonderland didn't get renewed, because the budget for a lot of those scenes were so high.
You can't film in an actual forest.
I did understand why they green screened the roof part, but I digress on that one.
Yeah,
because that was horrible. That was kind of bad.
The roof for Emma's wedding, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, during the ceremony, it looked good.
Fine,
but when it was just her and Henry, I'm like,
yeah.
That's wrong.
There's not enough things to keep your eyes off of what's going on in the background.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes you get that reflection of light where you can see that it's green light reflecting on her hair, and it's oopsies.
Yeah. That's why when Zelena's on screen, they use purple for the green screen. It's purple.
That makes
chroma
sense.
key. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So with Hook, Hook gets this idea of where to find some magic to get them home. So nobody really wants to hear from him. So he just runs off to go do it himself. He decides to go to the beanstalk to look for a magic bean. David ends up finding out through one of the Munchkins that Hook snuck away and goes to help him. And
they can be bought, apparently.
I love the line after they climb up the beanstalk and they're getting ready to climb up the oversized furniture, as David put it. He goes, "Yeah, I have to trust my fate to my son in law." The pause, and the look on Hook's face. He did the Rock, the people's eyebrow.
Well, because he has a son.
Yeah.
He's a baby, but he has a son.
It's also it's not even a day after their wedding, so it's still got to sink in. Like the son, in law, like it was like, oh yeah, I have to add this, now to this prefix or whatever because it's a thing. It just happened.
My favorite
the comment before was funny. He's like,
Snow takes the branch off him, and he's like, "Mommy."
I know.
Well, Hook never had a mommy. Well, he did.
That was my favorite, and she's like, "Oh, okay."
Long story.
We're there now. All right.
So they're getting the bean.
Like, what?
They're getting the bean, right? And they awaken
because the beans they're in existence now. They're not extinct anymore.
Yes. Well, no, the giants supposedly have been living there through this whole time, so this would have been at least minimum of 4 years.
And that's what they do, is grow magic beans.
Yeah. Aren't the giants dead?
They said they were not. So they said some of the giants were still there. Because that food would not be sitting on that table like that. You would not have fresh fruit. That fruit would be moldy, rotten, and falling apart. So there is somebody of giant status living there. Yeah. So yeah, they're known for they may have found, one left, something. That could have been the only one left that was on the table. It was in a glass jar, safekeeping, we don't know. So what I'm expecting, I thought we were going to get a cameo from Tiny this episode, but we did not. Instead, we get a dragon. In my headcanon, this is Lily. I don't care what anybody says. This is Maleficent's daughter, Lily, because otherwise we have not had closure for her. That still didn't give it closure, but my headcanon, that's Lily. I don't care what anybody says. So
I don't think it was, but you never know.
Yeah. But then the
there's only a few dragons so far, and
how would they have gotten back to Enchanted Forest? Because we don't even know where the fuck they went.
Exactly. But I mean, they have. It'd be silly to throw a new dragon into the mix right now because there's no way to explain it.
Who the fuck are you?
So
it could be the daddy.
Yeah, that's what they're saying in chat, but it seemed a little bit on the small side.
You don't know. Maybe he was petite.
Figment.
Maybe Maleficent.
That was Figment.
Maleficent like
Figment.
Dragon. She
it's
likes
Figment.
To dominate.
It's definitely Figment. If it's not Lily, it's Figment.
It's Mushu. Shut up. Get out of here.
No, Mushu has the right coloring.
Yeah. So they get the bean, they run down, climb down the stalk. Beanstalk's falling down. Jasmine and Snow come and save them, and that's the scenes that you guys were talking about. In the meantime, we find out that the Evil Queen's other half came back. She's no longer in the Wish World. She said she left the Wish World
because she can do that.
Yeah, she can. Magic, beans, whatever she wants. There's probably beans that exist in the Wish Realm. In fact, Rumpel gave Snow one, or not Snow.
It was Emma.
Regina and Emma, yeah. So, allows you to traverse realms, and Wish Realm is still a realm.
Which again was impossible in season 1, but now people just do it every episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a different version of the Enchanted Forest. This is one that the Savior didn't exist, so there would still
doesn't
be
matter
beans
if the Savior existed or not. They still said it was fucking impossible.
No, they said beans. We had beans in season 1.
No, we did not.
We did not?
We did not.
Jacqueline wasn't until season 2?
Yeah.
But
yeah, no.
We get the flashback in season 1 of Blue giving Bay the bean?
The bean.
Yeah,
she said that was the last one.
That she knew of.
Blue would say that.
Yeah, Shady Blue.
You lying bitch.
Shady Blue.
Shady Blue.
Well, I think after the ogres war, I think that Blue might have thought that was the only one left, because after that, the giants took their beans very seriously and hid them, and didn't let anyone have them. So they could have had them hidden away, and they lived up in the clouds, and they hide things, and they're giants, and no one wants to go mess with them.
Yeah.
How do the giants stay up in the clouds?
Very carefully.
Are clouds just like
gas?
The giants have lots of gas.
That's all I'm gonna say about that one.
So she left the Wish Realm that had Robin in it. It wasn't clear if Robin was there or where Robin was at the time. Sean Maguire was not available or whatever, because it seemed like that was pre-recorded audio that we heard.
Didn't she say he was with Little?
Well, yeah, that was their explanation. I said,
yeah.
I meant Sean Maguire, not Robin himself.
Yeah, with the bear.
But so she's like, yeah, you left out the detail that everyone thought I killed Snow and Charming, you know, and everyone's out to kill me. They hate me there, whatever. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf, so, you know, I came here. Me and
I
Robin,
rob from the rich, give to the poor, mostly.
Yeah, me and Robin, we steal from the rich, give to the poor.
You are the rich.
Mostly.
Well, I mean, if she's been exiled, then no, she doesn't have her connections anymore.
Where'd you get that fancy ass necklace?
I was gonna say, you rich enough to wear that dress.
Regina's
she
place.
took it. Well, she took it. She said when she said when they robbed from the rich, give to the poor. She said mostly she covered the necklace up with her hair.
Yeah.
She's like mostly.
Mostly.
She gives to herself.
Yeah.
So in the meantime,
she keeps the pretties.
This is when Hook returns. We find out that the bean has lost its magic. Regina is trying to transfer the magic back to the bean. The evil queen sacrifices herself to save everyone. Basically to stall, buy some time, and it worked. And then that's when like all but the center of Regina's castle is left, and Emma believes, and everybody ends up like happy days.
Can we talk about the interaction between Regina and the evil queen when they first? Oh God, I loved seeing them together again.
It's because they're basically the same person now because of the sharing of the hearts that they did. So that's
funny. She's just like
it's still lame to me.
Well, Regina and Zelina couldn't find something. She's like, "What? I have all my stuff's gone. What is gone?" And then they find her in the closet. Basically,
who the hell's in my house?
You.
And she's like, "Oh, I love the outfit. We really do look good." This. They're like, "Yeah, I know." It's just like you guys.
Yeah.
They're acting like,
the whole time Zelina was rolling her eyes. She did not want to deal with any of that shit. She was just like, oh my God.
Guys, we're gonna die.
Exactly. She's like, I'm trying to figure shit out, and here you are having a good old chat with yourself.
Yeah, basically, right?
Not the time for catch-up, ladies.
Yes.
So now that all this is over, the savior wins in the end and everything, we get to see a little bit of what's going on in the town. We get to see, Hook and Emma are sharing the role of sheriff. You see Hook with the sheriff's badge, throws
that's gonna be funny.
The light, on top of the buggy, and they go off and do whatever the hell they're doing. You see the dwarves have officially made Regina the queen of Storybrooke. She's no longer the mayor.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Then you see back in the Enchanted Forest, you see the evil queen and Robin apparently get engaged. We see an arrow, a ring, and a letter. And the letter with Sean Maguire's voiceover that said, ready for a new adventure. So... that's
so cute.
That's a little like that. This is probably the thing that I think bothered me the most here, is they gave Evil Queen half Regina a happy ending, but Regina still hasn't gotten her happy ending.
Her happy ending is being
having
with family. Yeah,
still.
Like she has Henry, she has Emma, she has a family
Zelina.
now. Yeah.
I do love the fact that finally Snow and Charming moved out of their apartment and into an actual house.
Yeah.
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 Well, they freaking need it. They're raising a child.
Well, the farm, it seems like the farm's still in Storybrooke. It's not like...
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, well, she's still teaching. She's a teacher.
Yep.
And he's obviously a stay-at-home dad. Because what skills does he have besides herding sheep?
Besides being a sheriff. He was a sheriff, so he could be, but,
Well, now we got
he's on the farm. He's on the he's raising livestock now on the farm.
Which, kudos to them raising a kid on a teacher's salary and nothing else.
Right.
Well, I think Snow is the only teacher in this town.
Good point.
She's in
she
high
makes
demand.
about 10 teacher salaries.
Yeah.
Right.
She runs that damn school.
We don't see a principal.
Then we get Belle and Rumple. They're having their own little happy ending, dancing to Tales Old as Time. And
which.
Yes, Cleo.
I'm sorry. Is she back with him? Has she forgiven him? I'm still a little upset about this.
I don't want to get into it.
See, this is part of the stuff that you miss, Cleo.
Yeah.
It's basically when Gideon. So, Cleo missed a bunch of episodes, guys. She wanted to make it in time to be on the finale podcast, so she watched the Black Fairy, the musical, and the finale. So she missed a lot in between. Episode. Yeah, musical was great. So basically what was going on was when the Black Fairy took Gideon, and Gideon went to another realm and aged faster than everything and then came back. By not... With Fiona having Gideon's heart, Belle was like really torn, and she wanted to do anything she could to get her son back. So she started to realize a lot of the stuff that Rumple was doing was not in everybody's best interest, but was for that, for like his son and, like things like that. So Belle actually started pulling a bit of Rumple this season as well. So then when
still murder. Like, I don't...
Right. But when it came down to it, she realized, sometimes we have to do things that aren't good for
But that doesn't mean the relationship should happen. Like, they clearly... Sorry.
I'm not concerned because she's not going to be a big part in next season.
No.
I know, but like as a wrap up, to me that feels like...
It's more of they bonded back. They rebonded when with Gideon, and it was trying to overcome and bring Gideon back to the light.
Guys, I know. Having a baby's gonna fix our marriage.
Right.
No, it's not.
But no, it wasn't the baby. It was adult Gideon at this point, so... But still, yeah, I know what you mean.
Still a baby.
What you're saying.
Hashtag baby mode.
It still doesn't feel right. That's all.
No.
Belle deserves better.
In chat, people are going on and on about Regina and her happy ending. You don't have to have a man to have a happy ending.
Which is why this pisses me off about Belle.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Let's just put that out there right now. Yeah. Having her friends and her family is all she ever wanted.
Yeah, she just wanted to feel like she belongs, and she was.
That's all she's ever wanted. She doesn't need a man to feel that. She feels that now.
Her vengeance was that she needed a man because Snow took that love away from her.
Yeah,
but
that was
her ultimate happy ending was just to have people to love her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which they do.
Well, because her mom never loved her. Mm-mm. And Rumple didn't love her, even though she fell for him, which is really kind of creepy in itself. But, all these people that she wanted to love and love her back never did, and all love fell apart, and that's all she knew. But having all the love of her friends and her family and friends that have become family is what she needed.
Well, Cleo, you were saying with Belle and Rumple, and you said some murder. I'm forgetting.
Oh no, I'm talking.
I was gonna say, what is he murdered that was anything with Belle?
He murdered an entire race of beings.
It's a quote from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, okay.
I use it when it's like, cool motive, but you still did a really shitty thing. Like, I just say that. Cool motive, still murder.
Okay.
Fact of the matter is, Belle, you need to leave. And I'm glad that you are.
I mean, I know.
Not because I don't like you, but it's because I like you that I want you to leave.
I mean, it's obvious that they're connected now, and Baby Mo is back. Little Gideon. Baby Gideon is back.
Baby Mo?
Yeah,
that's
Morpheus.
Cleo, you haven't been on the show, but I call Gideon Baby Mo.
Ever since they went into the dream realm to talk to Gideon, when he was still a baby. Before he was born, when he was still in the womb.
That I remember.
Yeah, that when he was Morpheus, Jake calls him Baby Mo ever since then.
Yeah, so like Baby Gideon's, so there's obviously still a connection to Belle. So we're obviously going to hear reference to her. We might even see flashbacks or actual little scenes with her because I don't think she's going anywhere, but we're just not going to see the actress because she's not slotted.
I don't know. We'll get to all that in a bit. And then at the very end, we get grannies for
because grannies.
We get grannies for a very Last Supper kind of vibe.
I get it, writers.
I
get it. It's a metaphor. But we're not C.S. Lewis.
I saw this and I wanted to vomit. It's not because I'm anti-religious or anything. It's just the connection. Like, it's like, no, this is the wrong kind of connection for a fantasy.
If you're going to make an allegory
thing.
Yes, exactly.
It was just
if you're going to make an allegory, then you do the Chronicles of Narnia, because they fucking beat you over the head with it. You don't do this shit.
Just like in the
don't tack on religious imagery at the last second when that was none of your intention before.
Just like in the actual Last Supper picture, which had 13 people, Jesus and the 12 apostles, we had 10 adults and 3 babies here, so there were still 13 people in the picture. So they went very similar imagery, everything like that. I do agree it was like religion out of left field. They did a similar thing on Lost, without spoiling anything, but Lost from the beginning was always man of science versus man of faith. So that was always...
That at least made sense.
That was always there from the... So to me, this just felt like they were kind of mirroring Lost, with more than anything there, because we know it's the same writers and everything. So what I said we would come back to is very, very opening scene of the show. We get flashbacks to what we think are flashbacks, and they're not. They're actually flash forwards, which is another thing that Lost did. But we see the Enchanted Forest at a time of great upheaval. And then we have what we now know is Henry running in saying it's time they found us.
That was a fantastic reveal, by the way.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And says, it may be the realm's only hope for defeating the darkness. Get it to safety. Talking about the storybook. Right? And then Henry says to Lucy, share the stories. And she goes, but I won't believe them. And he goes, someday someone will. Right? And then we see the... she runs off. And then the whatever kicks the door in, shatters the door. It's some big cloaked figure, like a person type thing. So it's not a curse. It's like some kind of monster, some villain, something.
Another dark one?
I don't know. And then you
hope it's different.
You see debris everywhere, right? We come back, and Tiger Lily shows up. And Tiger Lily says to Lucy, take the book to your mother. Right? A lot of people are thinking Tiger Lily is Lucy's mother. That is not the case. Definitely
Violet,
not
everybody.
The case.
What happened to Violet?
I will explain that in a minute. Says Lucy, one day you'll be reunited with your father, with your family. The future is cloudy. Never lose hope. So now we cut to the very, very end of the episode, and it says Seattle years later. Very mirroring the pilot, we get Lucy shows up to apartment 815, lost numbers, clock, time, every other reference to anything that you've ever seen in this show in terms of time. The time Henry was born, anytime you see a clock in the show, it's 8:15. This is also Regina's address to her house, so anytime you see, anything like that, it's always 8:15.
I think there's a law put in place in Storybrooke that if you're a significant character, you have to live in apartment 815.
Probably. This is when we reveal, when Lucy asks, are you Henry Mills? I'm your daughter. Goes, I don't have a daughter. Mirroring the pilot. And she goes, hello, but your family needs you. Right? And that's what we're left with. So yeah, it's very, very much the first season. Now, if I had to make a guess, Henry's going to be 28 years old. Right? So, just like Emma. Yeah. So, which would place this 14 years, establishing that Henry was 14 during the finale in terms of story. Because Fiona said, I have a 14-year-old son. Right. So, this would place it 14 years later. So, these flashbacks. So, now, it's making a lot more sense why a lot of these other characters are not showing up and stuff like that. Because 14 years of time has passed. So, that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when shows do major time jumps like this, but
I mean, because that jumps us. I mean, pretty. When did if Henry was 10 when the show started and he's 14 when it ends, and we've already gone through 6 seasons, right? So there obviously wasn't a year per season.
No.
So this puts us when in the 2000s?
I think when if I could almost remember during the Frozen arc that it was like 2014 or something they had mentioned. Bubbles everywhere, Cleo. So
this season they mentioned Hamilton.
Yes.
They did. So
we have a point of reference.
Yeah.
I remember because Supergirl mentioned Hamilton the same week.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was weird.
So to say that we've skipped 14 years, that's putting us in like 2020 era. Like in the 2020s.
It wouldn't matter because we're probably not going to hang out in the real world anyway.
I guess so.
So from what I've gathered, I'm not sure. We went over this before, and I don't remember now when Hamilton debuted in New York, because it was in. They mentioned New York because that's where the previous author was going to.
Yeah.
So
it was last year sometime.
Premiered on 2015, but it was it was off Broadway and in workshop in 2013.
Well, so Hamilton had to have been.
Yeah, if it
hit bid last year, yeah. And with the author saying that it had to have been hit bid, so
yeah,
we're looking into the future right now.
Yeah, so it premiered January 20th, 2015 in New York City. So we could be early 2015, mid 2015, I'd say. Because plays like that are usually still really big right after like the first month or so. Everybody starts hearing about it. It starts blowing up. It's not something that takes like a year to blow up or anything like that.
So I mean,
but still, that's putting us in the future.
Yeah, I think that
the 18-year jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I
mean, I don't think we're going to be jumping that far. If anything, we're going to be in 2017, and it's just the magic that, Henry did. He was in Enchanted Forest, but the magic put him in 2017. It put him in current year, because our world.
He could be in this realm that Baby Mo was in, where we still don't know what the fuck that is. We don't know how that thing works.
So I feel like, there's a time jump for when Henry was in the Enchanted Forest, like the first scene we saw, even if that was the who knows where the hell
it was the Enchanted Forest. It said Enchanted Forest, a time of great upheaval.
Okay, so this is Henry when he has aged, but maybe the magic that made them forget or whatever actually put him in current day, like our time, instead of putting him in the future, because I think that's going to be like
I think it's going to be the future, but because of the way the show goes, it really, honestly, the year doesn't matter. It never really has mattered.
Of course it does.
It's never been a huge...
Within the last 5 years, the amount of technological advances we've done...
I'm not saying what we've done. I'm saying in terms of the show and its plot. The year in which everything exists does not matter because of the time and they're still using Windows 95 on their computers.
Yeah, in Storybrooke, but I'm talking about outside of that.
Well, I don't think we're going to be outside, because from what I understand is Storybrooke is gone now. Like, they during this time and whatever, they dissolved Storybrooke. They all went back to the Enchanted Forest, Henry included. That's why we see Henry in the Enchanted Forest there with Lucy.
Great and job. Then Henry finally get to see your home.
When this curse, this new curse is cast, because they clearly forgot, because there's that dialogue where Lucy says, "But I won't believe them," as in the stories that are in the storybook. So like they knew a curse or something was coming, because she would have like lost her memories of the book. So there has to be another curse, and from what I gather, from what I've pieced together from certain interviews, it's going to be a new town. So we're not going back to Storybrooke.
I won't believe them, or did she say they? She
said I won't believe them.
I won't.
I swore she said they won't believe them.
I triple checked. She specifically said I won't believe them. And then that's when Henry said, "Someday someone will."
Yeah.
So
I still think that the magic put them in more of a current time for us than it would be like 20s, 20 something, because even if we do like have that slight chance that an episode happens to bring us back to Seattle or even like wherever they happen to be in this particular part of
well, Henry's in Seattle right now the same way that Emma was in Boston.
Yes. So like I said, like with just even in the last 5 years, we've made such huge technological jumps. Everything looks so different. Can you imagine 14 years? So even if they give us a glimpse of Seattle in the future, it's not going to be accurate, like especially if they're still holding like these, you know, it's not going to be these in the 2020s.
I hope they go ham and have like flying cars or some stupid shit like that.
It would be fun. What would be even better?
20 that's taller than you.
What would be even better is to throw the curse into like retro, like put it in like the 1920s.
Put it in the 50s. We need that.
Hold on. Because here's where I literally think phones have to go. The next step is folding flat screens. Right? So we have phones like now, but if they folded and were thinner.
Maybe.
Like a flip phone, but the other way.
Why don't we just go with holograms and just end the whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to matter so much.
Since they're in Seattle and I live close and I have been to Seattle. You know how like with the New York episodes you saw, you're like, oh, I know where that is. I know what street they're on and blah, 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 blah. I'm wondering if they do it on the outside. I'm wondering if I would be like,
yeah,
I know
that
where
would be
that
really
is.
interesting for people who, you know,
I mean, it's not like, and it's not like they're that far away because Vancouver and Seattle, that's about 4-hour drive.
But now the question is it going to be set in Seattle? We know Henry's living in Seattle, much the way Emma was living in Boston. Mm-hmm. But then she had the apartment in New York.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping. I kind of hope that they do show the outside.
And then they had Maine, which was where Storybrooke is. But
where's this new town?
Is Henry living in the new town and Lucy came to the town to see Henry?
I don't think so.
Or,
it says Seattle, so Seattle's not a new town.
Yeah, but, you know, because why would Henry not have his memories? Like, there's all kinds of questions, you know, to...
Well, who's to say he doesn't have his memories? She just said, I'm your daughter. And he's like, I don't have a daughter. What if he doesn't know? Maybe she's from the future and he hasn't have her yet.
He talked to her with the book in the beginning.
Emma would remember she would have a son because, you know, she gave birth to the damn thing. Henry wouldn't know.
What if like...
Right.
What if him and Miss disappearing?
Right, I get that, except for the fact that Henry specifically handed her the book and told her to share the stories in the Enchanted Forest. That was Henry.
Yeah, but if he doesn't remember that,
right?
What if that was in the future? He hadn't done that yet.
Time travel, Dom.
No, that's why she has the book.
Your favorite.
That's why she has the book.
It's the loop. It's a loop that you hate, and I'm just going to throw that out there because you keep throwing that shit out there.
I mean, the only way I'm going to accept that is if we see the fucking rabbit come out and be like, hey, I fucked up things.
Yes. Oh, yes.
That's the only way I'm going to accept that, you know,
she's from this is all after. This is all after. They've said that this is all after. And so with Violet, in terms of Violet, they said, Adam and Eddie said, your middle school, your high school love is not always your final love.
It's someone different.
Henry and Violet did not go on to have kids. They did not continue their relationship. This is someone new, someone they're not revealing.
All this time was a fucking useless character.
Yeah, someone they're not revealing. So it's probably going to be somebody's story significant in terms of probably Disney not or something like that.
Tiana?
Maybe, I don't know.
Ooh.
But what about Naveen?
What?
Oh, Levine. Who gives?
Who?
Levine.
Sorry.
Prince Levine.
I heard Levine, and I was like,
yeah, I heard Levine as well. Levine. I mean,
yeah,
the villain in
maybe Henry is.
But he's not. He's Henry.
I know.
I mean, he was royalty though in the Enchanted Forest.
He still is technically.
Well, I mean, if we're going through the story of the Princess and the Frog, Levine was royalty. So but in our world, he's just Henry Mills. So I mean,
Alex did point out one of the doors in the Mad Hatter's hat was Moana.
Moana, okay.
It was a tiki. I was thinking Jungle Book personally, but
wrong culture.
Yeah, I was gonna say there wouldn't be tikis in the jungle.
Well, it wasn't really tiki. It was just. It looked like an African head.
It
like
it was very.
So the Jungle Book takes place in India.
The door was very tiki-esque, and I didn't think Moana when I saw that. I instantly thought of the tiki room. I thought of the tiki room from Disney, the attraction.
Tiki room. Yeah.
That's instantly what I thought of. I didn't go in the direction of Moana. So maybe it could be, but I don't know. My headcanon, it's tiki room. I don't care.
I mean, it would make sense for Moana because that's the new hit thing with Disney, and you know, I kind of hate when they do that, but at the same time, yes, okay, that's new content for them to work off.
When they did it with Frozen, I liked it.
I didn't spend as much. No. I should have paused it, but I didn't spend much time. I did like I did last time, looking at all the different doors in the Mad Hatter's hat, because that's how I found Wizard of Oz door in the Mad Hatter's hat last time.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So
and a bunch of other doors that we have no idea what they were.
But yeah, I didn't pause it this time to analyze it. I should have.
I'm going to confess something. I have not seen Moana yet, so like I don't have a connection to it. So that's why I'm like, can we not, please? I don't want Lucy to be related to like the Moana scene at all. I want it to be out of left field.
Lucy is Hispanic, so. She was on, the actress was on Jane the Virgin.
Did she play a young Jane?
I think she did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought she looked a little familiar.
Yeah. So she's of Hispanic descent.
Someone in chat says, Luis says that someone said it could be Elena, who is, I think, the newest. She's got the red dress and the sword. She's pretty freaking cool. I've never seen the show.
She's a Hispanic princess.
Yeah.
And everyone says her name wrong.
It's Elena.
How do you say her name?
Elena, not Elena. Elena, and even people.
I work with an Elena. It's really hard to like snap myself back.
Everyone I've seen an episode of the show because my sister watches it, and it fucking pisses me off because even people on the show say her name wrong.
Elena, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Elena. I'm kidding.
Honestly, I think that would be a good like left field thing, because that is a show that if you're not.
But it is aimed towards younger kids.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And that would be...
I think a lot of people won't see it coming.
Yeah.
So, but just knowing that, like, based off of Henry being 14, based off the parallels, all the parallels that we saw from the pilot, and knowing that Emma was 28 when she broke the curse and Henry showed up at the door and all that, it's safe to assume that Henry is at least 28 years old there. So it is safe to assume that this is 14 years from now, which leaves us with 14 years of history to find out now what's happened to the Charmings, what's happened to Zelina, what's happened to all these characters that are not going to be on the show.
So what you're saying?
How old is Lucy?
All the kids are 14 years old now.
Lucy would probably have to be 10 if we're going to parallel the pilot.
So he
was 18?
So he made her when he was 18.
He was 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, she does look a little younger than 10.
She might be 8 or 9.
It's possible. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just paralleling the pilot at this point.
That's fine.
So,
yeah.
She's definitely not older than 10. That much. We know that much. So it is possible. 100% possible she's younger. So, but just grabbing having this big time gap now allows flashbacks to give us more story and more meaning, because we hit a point with these flashbacks where it's just like trying to shoehorn them into like these weird timelines and make them so they're still relevant and not contradicting previous things and still giving importance. And it's like, well, every time we see a flashback now with Snow and Charming, it's like, didn't we already get all of their story? Like, what else is there to tell?
Yeah, this gives us at least 5 more seasons of content flashbacks. So we got guys. You were worried about the lifetime of the show? They just added 5 more years onto it.
Well, I don't know. Let's not jump to any conclusions. Just recently,
it's like Doctor Who. You thought he only had this many regenerations until
the show never fucking
give you more regenerations.
Yeah, just recently, the actress who plays Mulan, Jamie Chung, She had an interview with Huffington Post, and she referred to the next season as the final season.
But then she did preface after that saying, they say that all the time, though.
Yeah, she, like, backpedaled really quickly, and she was like, oh, but they always say that.
Yeah.
So, like, just be aware, guys, going in, and don't be upset and all that. It is very possible that this next season is the final season of Once.
Well, then you better fucking do it right.
If it is, they will go into the season telling us this.
Yes.
If they don't go into the season, they will at least go into the mid-season telling us this. That, like, one of those two options. But it's possible that it's not. And if the ratings do really well and stuff like that, and I know I'm one of the big advocates that always say, oh, the ratings don't matter. They matter to an extent, but they're not the final say in everything. But if the show just all of a sudden is super popular again out of nowhere, and it's got the same kind of draw as the first season does, they'll renew it for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know.
That's why I said, you know, maybe 5 years of more content because of flashbacks. I'm only going off of flashbacks here. I mean, what their current plot line or whatever, that's who knows what they still have so many stories to pull from.
Yeah. Oh, they do.
Other stories that you dropped.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I would love to see, like, Buzz and Woody dolls just, like, lying around somewhere. Like, don't do a Toy Story episode because that would be ridiculous. It really would.
Yeah.
But throwing, like, Buzz and Woody, you know, somewhere in the background it would be great. I would love to see more references like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Just give us a little, like, you know, Easter eggs here and there. That's great. We need more of that.
Yeah.
Just inexplicably have a race car drive through town and it's Lightning McQueen.
Did you guys see the Brave Little Toaster reference?
I did not.
There was a Brave Little Toaster reference?
Yeah, there was a toaster on the counter.
Oh.
So I'm gonna Jake. I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna ask you guys before we wrap this up, one at a time. We're gonna start with Nikki, putting her on the spot while everybody else gets time to stretch and think. Favorite part of the episode?
This episode in
the
particular?
Finale. Yeah.
I mean, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, it's when Emma got." No, that had nothing to do with it. It was actually
Oh, you're saying everybody's gonna say for you that your favorite part was when Emma died?
Yeah, everybody's gonna expect from me being, "Oh yeah, it was when Emma died." No, you know what? It was when they tied everything up with these current characters up in a little bow and said, "There's a new story for you."
Yeah.
That was, I think, you know, going into this episode, I was like, you know what? I don't want some of these characters to leave, but now that it's come around and we've seen what happened in this episode, I'm looking forward to season 7. Whereas, like episodes ago, I was like, I don't even want to talk about this show anymore. I was getting really sick of this show, but now that there's going to be new story,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So my
and like
favorite
they said,
was the end.
ending isn't happiness. Being together is. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. All right, now Jake. Stipulation to your favorite. The little 3 seconds of seeing Wonderland does not count. What was your favorite part of the episode?
No, that does count. So fuck you. It does.
No, what was your favorite part?
Sassy tonight. Damn.
No, honestly, my favorite part is just the overall feeling of like being in Storybrooke. I absolutely love that part, but my favorite part in that section was getting just these. It just took me back to season 1 with just Henry in the hospital and like trying to convince his mom. Like it interesting parallels, trying to get his mom to believe, but it's like more dire this time, and just them, you know, talking about Henry and like his mental health and things like that. That is just really interesting to me. It's like a more extreme version of what we got in season 1.
Yep.
So I think that's probably my favorite part, just because it was interesting to see how far we've come since season 1 till now.
Yeah. Yeah. Rachel.
I don't think there's one scene like they've said. It's more, I think, everyone realizing how much they've grown throughout the years and how much they've become each other's family, even though they're just friends. And with Regina telling
of them are family.
Yeah. Well, one
that's true.
Gideon is like Henry's uncle. Yeah.
Oh God.
Anyways, like when Regina took Emma aside and said, when you first came here, we hated each other. And Emma was like, no. She's like, no, we hated each other. And just seeing how far that friendship has gone. And how far everyone has come to realize that they don't need something else to make them happy. They can make themselves happy by being happy inside themselves, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Henry has 2 baby uncles.
Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I brought. And I think it was a good ending for a lot of these characters, because it gave you that feeling of that they're not going to be in like this endless peril. Oh my God, they're gonna die in this or anything. It's almost like a breath. You actually could breathe.
Yeah. Cleo, I have like a 6-part question for you, but we'll start with what your favorite part of the scene was.
When Snow rips off the tree branch and Hook says, "Mommy." Yeah.
Okay. Favorite song in the musical? Since we all did this and you weren't here for it.
It's Hook song.
It's Hook song.
It's the one that's stuck in my head right now.
Yeah, you were singing it all pre-show.
I was.
Before we went live. Favorite Rumple and Belle scene? I'm kidding. But no, honestly, thoughts on Rumple himself right now, not Belle. Take Belle out of the equation. Thoughts on Rumple.
Rumple, I would have loved it if he didn't already get a redemption arc. Him being the savior, that whole thing would have been great if that was his first redemption arc. The fact that it's his second kind of irks me, but I really liked that
second
he's the savior.
Are you saying Peter Pan arc was the first? Is that
yeah?
Okay, just for
he had more than
sake.
one then.
He had 2.
No, he had 2. He had that weird Camelot.
That one doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Because that wasn't real.
That was
he was lying to everybody.
Yeah. That was a fake story that Cruella wrote, or the author wrote, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I really like that he was the secret savior, and like his mom cut the thread, his true fate.
Yeah, because I know that we were talking, me and you, before you got to watch these episodes, and I had mentioned, Robert Carlyle was coming on for next season, and you're like, really? Like, you were so aggravated. And
is he coming on for next season?
He is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
still aggravated then.
Well, the big three that are returning is Rumple, Regina, and Hook. They said that most of the story is going to center around them. So what I feel like, just knowing that it's going to kind of be like the villains looking for some sort of happiness, because knowing that
the 3 Caballeros or whatever,
kinda,
is that what's gonna
knowing,
and that was the saddest
by
part
happiness
about this episode.
I'm well aware that its significant other does not mean happiness, but it seems like it's gonna kind of be like a quest for that almost, because that is something that Regina wanted. It's something that Hook wanted and got, but clearly something's got to go on with Emma.
Well, that was the saddest part about this episode, was where he was kind of freaking out. He's like, I'm a villain. I don't get a happy ending. This is all falling apart in my hands.
Yeah. But knowing that Jennifer Morrison isn't staying and we're not going to have Emma for more than one episode next season, something's got to happen to her and Regina. They
just got married.
So.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just got married, but this is also going to be 14 years later.
14 years.
Yeah. Assuming. We're assuming it's 14 years later.
Yeah. Minimum.
I wonder if there's a Hook and Swan baby at this time.
Maybe.
Yep.
Ooh.
All the babies. We need that. Because this show needs more babies.
So I feel like this season's going to focus a little more on the reformed villains kind of category. And I'm totally fine with that. I really am.
I mean, because they're still going to have their darkness in them. That's never going to go away. They still have darkness in them. They're still going to be a little bit unpredictable because of that.
Yeah.
So,
Regina has come to terms with it, which is nice, and everyone else needs to come to terms with their own darkness.
And 14 years has gone by. We don't even know if Rumple's still going to be the dark one anymore. Like, he may not be. He may have given that up for Belle at some point. We don't know.
That would be fantastic.
Can you just give it up?
I mean, there's a lot they could do. On one hand, I would love that. On another hand, I'm going to miss scaly, sparkly skinned Rumple. You know, like
what if killing
wait,
his
we
mom?
we forgot to talk about that.
broke the Dark One curse?
Maybe. Who knows? Because I mean, she did preface and like she was really proud that she was the person who basically made dark magic.
Well,
so it is a possibility that the Dark One was linked to her, but it's not because
it's linked to the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Which is linked to Excalibur.
We say that everything was tied up in a pretty little bow, but really it wasn't.
No, definitely not everything, because they have to, like, otherwise we wouldn't have a story to continue next season. So there's definitely hooks. No pun intended.
Basically, it's the ending of, like they said, it was the ending of one book and the beginning of another.
Yep.
Which I like the look of the new book because it looks like a storybook you would have as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So
Alex from the 80s.
Alex is asking in chat, he's like, do you think they're trying to pull a younger audience and the show will change because of that? And, not with their schedule changing. I think the younger audience could watch on a Sunday, not a Friday night.
No, they could watch on Friday because a lot of people let their kids stay up later on Fridays than they do on Sundays. Because Sundays you have to go to school.
Mondays schools. But hold on. There's an awful lot of cursing in these last, especially the musical.
True. Yeah.
All the songs had like at least one curse in them.
Yeah. Well, so a lot of people who follow television and stuff like that know that Friday night is kind of dubbed the Friday night death slot, where they put shows to die. It's not always the case, because Supernatural's been sitting in the Friday night slot for how long?
No. Shit ain't going away.
Supernatural has been on Thursday nights for the last 3 years.
Right, but it was in the Friday slot for a very long time.
That's true.
So, and as you pointed out, Supernatural is still going 3 years after that. So
they had the
not
whole
always
in the early '90s, the TGIF Friday things. That was a big ass hit.
What they're planning on doing here is
different tone shows, though.
What they're planning on doing is ABC kind of wants to theme out their days and stuff like that. So they wanted to move their sci-fi fantasy into Friday night. So they're moving Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to Friday night. They're moving Once Upon a Time to Friday night. And they're debuting the new Inhumans show on Friday as well.
But how is that themed?
Sci-fi.
Yeah.
Sci-fi, fantasy, sci-fi.
Yeah.
All right.
Superhero.
So
it's a stretch.
I don't know what the other days of their schedule are. I haven't
It's
seen
Disney. It's all Disney.
Their schedule. I think it was released yesterday. I didn't look at it. But they said that they want to kind of theme out the days of the week. And they also claimed, ABC claimed, that fans have been begging to put Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Once Upon a Time on the same night. And I've never heard that in my life. But
I've never
Show
heard
me
of that.
one person who's ever said that.
Yeah, so I'm just throwing that out there. But that was in their like big reveal of why it was moving to Fridays. Our fans were begging for it, and I don't know anybody who's begging for it.
I don't see this ending well. I mean, it depends on the tone of the show. See, like, Supernatural, when it was on Fridays, was always slotted as a later show. So, as an older child, I was like 18. I was younger, obviously. I was still like in the teens when I started watching Supernatural. So, it made sense for an older audience because it was a darker tone show because there's language, there's guts and gore and stuff. But it's not a younger based show, but it's lighter. It feels like a Sunday show to me, not only because it's been on Sunday for all of its airing time, but it feels like a lighter show, and it could go for one of the other reasons that they also gave too is they said once held up pretty strong against football and sports and stuff like that. They want to see when it's not in that competition what it can do as well. And there's a lot of stuff like we miss out on Oscar and Emmys, and like all those big shows like that. That's why once gets shoved around a lot when it's taking a week off here, it's taking a week off there. It's because of that. Moving it off of Sunday gives a little more freedom with that. So I'm looking. I pulled up their schedule right now. So it looks like on Sundays they have America's Funniest Home Videos, To Tell the Truth, Shark Tank,
10 Days in the Valley. I don't know what those are.
So reality type shows?
That seems like that Sunday. Monday's Dancing with the Stars and The Good Doctor. Tuesday is The Middle, Fresh Off the Boat, Blackish, The Mayor, and Gospel of Kevin, so it looks like all comedies.
Yeah.
Wednesday is The Goldbergs, Speechless, Modern Family, American Housewife, and Designated Survivor. So it looks like...
So more like sitcom-y kind of shows?
Yeah.
Designated Survivor.
Those are dramas.
Okay, dramas.
But The Goldbergs is a comedy.
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Thursday we have Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder.
And
those are all dramas for sure.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, I think that's why they want to make themed nights, because Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder have been like that for like the last 3 years.
Yeah, and then Friday we have Once Upon a Time at 8 o'clock. It's moved to the 8 o'clock slot. Then we have Marvel's Inhumans after that, 2020. And on Saturday, they just have football listed. Mid-season is what they have listed. American Idol, Alex Incorporated, The Crossing, Deception, For the People, Grey's Anatomy, a Grey's Anatomy spinoff, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and The Return of Roseanne. So.
What?
Yeah, it's a...
Roseanne Revival, 8 seasons. That is something, I'm telling you right now, me and Nikki are already committed to that. We are doing Roseanne, so anybody else who wants to join us for that, we will be doing. It's only 8 episodes. So
yeah.
Okay.
Just like 8 episodes, just like the Inhumans is going to be, and then the Shield starts after that.
Yeah. So a lot of big shakeups going on here. I'm really, really excited about Once. I hope this revitalizes a lot of people's feelings on it. Cleo, I know that you've somewhere around season 3. I'm gonna say most people season 3 mid-season is where a lot of people faltered, because you mentioned the Rumple redemption arc, right?
Yeah.
And that's when everybody kind of felt the show peaked, and it had its best. Like when Emma left Storybrooke with Henry, and they went and they did it to give everybody their best chance, and Rumple sacrificed himself, killing Pan for the greater good and to save everybody. And all this
but
stuff.
I really like
Zelena.
Isn't that the arc after?
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying a lot of people said that was the ultimate, like, that the show should have ended there. I'm not saying it should have ended there, but I think the show, the best of the writing, definitely stopped there.
Oh, I see, yeah.
I feel like, I love the Wizard of Oz arc. I thought that was great. Frozen arc was worked in really well. But really, when it comes down to it, that point in season 3 with Hook, looking back at it all now, is like Nikki was saying earlier to me in pre-show, that it was like she was a little frustrated at the ending with Henry and Lucy and all that, because it mirrored the front so well. But ever since then, it's just been mirrored constantly. It's been, there's another curse. We've had another curse 2 or 3 times. We had in the episode 311 or 312, whatever came back from the mid-season there, it was Hook going into New York looking for Emma and Henry, basically playing Henry's role. It was a role reversal, doing all that to try to get them to come back and believe. And, it's like everything from that moment on, the show started spoofing or parodying in a way itself.
The reason why I'm frustrated is because we had a nice closed ending, and then they've mirrored the beginning again after closing off a bunch of the stories. So that's why I was kind of frustrated. I'm like, they're doing the same thing again. It is a little bit different now because Henry he had the knowledge of everything beforehand, but it's still a very close mirror. I was sitting here when you mentioned the cupcake in Emma's apartment. I was like, I swear to God, I'm so glad that there wasn't a cupcake in view, because I probably would have screamed. Yeah,
it's just like the show got to a point where it needed to do something drastic like this and to give a giant time jump, because the show's basically been copying itself over and over and over again, just switching the roles and the people out. Even this final episode here, the Black Fairy Curse, it mirrors Regina's curse. It's different, but it mirrors it. It's very similar, and the nostalgia was good and all that, and I like that's fine for a final season kind of thing like this, where they're trying to close the chapter, even with more stories to go on. But we've also done a new curse 2 other times between that.
Yeah, exactly.
Not counting Regina's, we had Anne's, and we had the Charmings. You know?
I feel like you were asking me a question. Were you asking me a question?
I was more commenting on the fact that you said that the Rumple arc, the Rumple redemption.
Okay.
But
we're gonna rewind it back. The point was that the writing was best during that arc with Peter Pan and, leading into Zelina's curse and stuff like that. That was like the best part, and that's where people lost interest, was when it drove down from there. Like they.
Oh yeah. No, you're right, Cleo. I was asking. Was that?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was waiting to answer you, but then I was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, no, and then so for most people, that's around the time when they started faltering for the show. That's not when they gave up on it, but that's around the time they started faltering. Do you feel that was about the same for you? Like,
no.
Yeah, Oz came after that, but I don't know. Like,
I've always been mad at Rumple. Nothing changed. It was
all the frames are about to be messed up.
You know what it was? It was that we did the rewind. Rewind killed it for me. The fact that we went from once to once back to once, and I was like, it's too much. I have to stop. I wanted to. It was too much. Oops.
Yeah, with Rachel gone, the frames are botched to no reason. I don't know what happened to Rachel's computer.
Oh my god, I'm dying. Oh.
So, unfortunately, guys, we are going to have to wrap this up. Thank you guys very much for joining us.
Before you... Okay, never mind. I was going to say... to continue the conversation down in the comments, because we will read them and we will respond. So if you have any more questions, any more comments directly to any of us.
And if you definitely want it directed, tweet at us.
Yeah, definitely.
We get the tweets. Like, I get them right to my phone. I'm not going to miss it.
Yeah, so I guess my other question is, Cleo, do you intend on watching next season?
Yeah. Probably not podcast, just because of schedule.
Right,
if I had more time, I would
totally
watch.
I was not asking about podcast. I was asking about
I'll watch it.
Okay. So unfortunately, because we have the frame up and you can't see anybody, Jake, where can the people find you?
You can find me and all my giggles and gore and monsters and mayhem here on YouTube at Jacob Salazar, or you can find me on Twitter, tweeting me throughout the life at New to Nowhereland. That is CONOWHERELAND. Join the Nowhereland Society.
Awesome. Oh yeah. Nikki, where can the people find you?
On Twitter on Twitter. At LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cleo, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest.
Awesome. You can find me at Phenomedom, PHENOMEDOM.
Phenomedom.
You can find us all and more on, or you can find Rachel at Viking Witch 76.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, on Twitter, and then just Viking Witch on Twitch.
Yep, and you can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Oh,
and on
Rachel might be back, but I don't see her. She's back. We're here. Hello, everybody.
All right.
And you can find us all there for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Until next time.
Ciao.
BRB dying.
Yeah,
revenge is gonna be mine.
Be mine.